Hello and welcome to the On Pointless podcast. We're back again for another week of hypothetical questions. Today's show we're going to start, as always, with an introductory question to learn more about our guests. So the question for this week is, if you could pick any TV show to have one more season that is instantly available and right from the peak popularity of the show, what show would you pick? Stefan?
You threw me for a loop here because my impulse was to answer The Simpsons, but you said peak popularity, and that is a very different period than peak goodness of the show. So I'll just say The Simpsons anyways, but I'm going to assume I get peak quality episodes.
Fair enough. Alex?
I'll go with the American version of The Office, I think. Around the season 3 point. It's pretty prime.
Michael Scott era?
Michael Scott, but not late Michael Scott.
Of course.
Yeah.
And Alla?
I will go with the Xena Warrior Princess because that is my childhood hero, and I would love for there to be more episodes, especially in the middle of the series because that was the best part.
Fair enough. Lucy Lawless back in the day. Me personally, I always, my whole life, would have said Twin Peaks for this question. And then a couple years ago, Twin Peaks did come back and was in peak form. So instead, I'm going to go with Carnival, the HBO show.
Peak form.
So now we've gotten to know our guests a little bit better. Let's move on to the first question of the week. Our first question is, you are the organizer for the World Limbo Championships. Where do you host the event, and what do you make contestants limbo under?
Well, is Hawaii where Limbo is from?
I would have said Jamaica.
We're assuming it's somewhere tropical.
Yeah, it's going to be a tropical. And it's got to be like bamboo or something, isn't it?
I thought of bamboo as well.
You have so many possibilities. You could do so many other things, like a giant wall of ice.
Limboing under a wall of ice.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the World Championships.
An element of risk is involved there.
That's my thought. Like, what if the ice melts and crushes you? It would be like an ice guillotine.
Well, this is going to be very difficult to maintain in this tropical climate. I don't know if that's a good choice.
Well, maybe not tropical. Well, I guess it'd probably be hard on their muscles if they had to do it in cold weather. I feel like limbo's a very flexible thing, and the cold does not dictate well to that.
The Canadian Limbo Championships, where you limbo under a wall of ice that may crush you.
Did you hear that?
Something warm would be better.
Probably.
Like fire.
A volcano? Limboing on a volcano?
Or a burning bamboo stick.
In a volcano under a burning bamboo stick.
Oh, that would be pretty
Because
sweet.
you would be so limber with the warmth.
What about one of those sparklers you can get, but it's like really big, and you have to limbo under it before it reaches the end?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Oh, so it's like a timer as well. It's like a fuse, basically, and then it would be like trying to throw those
Exactly.
sparks in your face to throw you off, and you just have to concentrate.
Yeah, like dynamite.
Does it explode at the end?
Well, maybe it does. I mean, that would be even more pressure to limbo under it quickly.
It's true. And then dive out of the way.
How low do people limbo these days?
Obscenely low.
Like a foot? Like how low?
Less than that. How thin can you possibly make your body? That's how good people are.
I may be biased from like Futurama and that guy, but like knee level.
Knee level. Okay. Well, knee level is still like 2 feet, probably.
Oh, you bend in. You
But
bend
would
in
there
those
be,
knees.
like a height
It's
restriction?
ankle height.
Because if someone was very small and had short knees, then it would be easier for them. So they'd have to be height matched.
I don't think limbo cares. I think limbo is
Oh.
like if you're shorter,
So it's a bit
you
like
have...
basketball.
Well, yeah, it's like, I mean, if you're a sprinter, being taller helps you. It's not like they go, okay, well, here's the category for people under 6 feet and over 6 feet. I think limbo would be the same thing. And there's very few sporting competitions that are, like, naturally better for short people, I think.
Yeah,
You know
that's true.
Pole vault.
Pole vault's short people?
Gymnastics.
That's
Oh.
true, gymnastics.
Gymnastics too.
Limbo should fit into gymnastics. It's somewhat of a similar thing.
Yeah, they probably have good skills at gymnastics as well as limbo.
Yeah, it's
For me.
flexibility, it's strength, it's like being smaller, but like with good balance.
Shimmying.
Exactly. Like whenever I see someone on the parallel bars, they're always shimmying.
And the music choice would be important.
Oh, you
But
could...
what music choice would you have?
Well, if you were doing it and it was a giant stick of dynamite, then clearly you'd limbo to under pressure.
I thought you have to limbo to like brass drums.
Oh.
Yeah, it's got to be the Caribbean
Yeah.
kind of.
Are those made of brass?
Or
I don't know.
steel-
I was
steel-
hoping
steel
someone
drums.
would
He
actually
meant
know
steel.
that.
Steel
Yeah.
drums.
Steel.
Okay, that sounds better and makes a lot more sense.
They used to be brass back in the day.
Yeah, and then they found steel.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so our limbo competition we're looking at doing in Hawaii near a volcano with either a sparkler or some dynamite to the song Under Pressure.
But
With
but
the
a
steel
steel
drum.
drum version.
But
Yeah.
a steel drum version, yes. A steel drum instrument. Okay, so next we have a bit of a complicated question, but if you bear with me, I think I can explain this. So starting in 1900 and sliding to 1999, you get to pick a year to be born in North America. The inverse of the year you pick is the wealth bracket that you are in. I.e., if you pick 1900, you're in the top 99% of richest people. If you pick 1950, you're average. If you pick 1999, you're in the bottom 1%. What year do you choose to be born?
That is tough.
Ooh.
Wow.
Well, I don't mean to be a downer, but if you pick to be anywhere in like the 80% or lower range, if we're talking worldwide, you'll probably just die immediately.
That we're talking North America specifically.
Big difference.
Yeah, so it's not
Difference.
so it's not some like drastic shift, like you're not in a third world country where being in the bottom 5% is terrible.
So really earlier is better for wealth.
Exactly.
But then not as good for the technologies
Yeah.
and things that happen.
So if you're born in 1910, you're in the top 90% of people.
You're wealthy.
But you can't fly easily. Like, there's not the commercial airline industry, so you can't move around as much. There's not TVs. There's not a bunch of the things we like.
Yeah.
So do you prefer to be richer than the people around you or in a more comfortable environment to live?
And what worried me was also the world wars going on in those earlier
Well,
time periods.
I mean, I think the obvious answer is to pick right after World War II, then you're just a baby boomer. You have, what is it, 55% around there. That's where your wealth is at. That's kind of what the average baby boomer's looking at. You're just going to be a baby boomer, and they've had it the best of anyone.
See, I thought of that, but the tough thing about that answer is, I just said in North America. If you're born in the States, you're in prime territory to be drafted into Vietnam if you're born in 1945.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's a tough one, right? Like, to me, I'm thinking like mid to late 60s. You're in the top the bottom 35%. That's fine. So you're, middle to lower middle class. It's okay, and you have a lot of luxuries coming in, and you get to come in for the computer era coming in. Like, I don't think you'd be that out of date in the mid 60s.
If you're in the mid 60s and you're in the lower 35%, you're almost guaranteed to be born to hippies, though. So you would have to be okay with that.
Oh, maybe the 80s then. Maybe I'm biased because I was born in the late 80s. But I look at the 80s isn't that bad of a time to be coming up. I mean, maybe even in the 70s, because then you'd have pretty good music. I like the 80s music.
See, I was thinking the same thing, but like being born early 70s, and then I'd be like, reaching adolescence, right, with the grunge and all that
And then
stuff.
you could meet Curt Cobain.
That's right. Talk him out of it.
Yeah, you could change history.
Actually, he probably... Why would you talk him out of it? He wouldn't be as famous if he was alive, so...
That's true. That next Nirvana album was going to be terrible.
You know what? It wasn't. You're right. It's like my favorite Nirvana song, and that's the last one recorded.
That's the last one recorded, but that's before he got into like his very instrumental synth days that were going to happen. And
Yeah.
Nirvana...
All the steel drum covers.
So our next scenario. You have to play in the championship game in the team sport of your choosing. Which sport are you most likely to get a point/goal in?
Can I pick doubles tennis?
No, I'm going to say a team of more than two. Because doubles tennis, like, even against the best in the world, they might double fault. You'll probably get a point in it. So I'm going to say, like, a team sport. Because, like, the first, it's really easy to think, I could score in basketball. But I couldn't. I know that I couldn't.
Maybe curling, just as kind of a fluky thing. You got the rock in the house.
That's true. Curling, you could do it. Like,
Yeah.
if you threw a rock in and the
you
rest
got
of
in
your...
the house.
Yeah, and everyone else just set up guards and, like, you got that
Yeah,
one
because your
point.
team could really support you.
That's true. That's...
You could get Kevin Martin in there, Kmart. He could just carry you to victory.
Yeah?
Who else are famous curlers?
That's the one.
That's it.
Gushu.
Must be more.
That's him.
Brad Gushu.
Oh, the
The
women's
douche.
team was good too. Jennifer or something?
I knew her name was Jennifer, but I can't remember.
Jennifer.
It's like 20% of people in that age bracket are named Jennifer.
Well, one of them was really good at curling.
She was good.
Well, at least we haven't gotten, like, super Canadian with it and discussed curling as something that we know a lot about, so that's good, Not typecast at all.
I would like to say football, that I would be able to score, but I know it's not actually true.
Like tackle football?
But you know what? I think if you gave me a carry from the 1-inch line as like a QB sneak, I could probably get it in.
How about this, though? Football, but you're the kicker.
Kicker?
Oh.
I'm an awful kicker.
I feel like I could kick an extra point. I mean, not consistently, but if my team scored like 5 touchdowns and you gave me 5 shots at an extra point, I think I could kick an extra point. That would be worth something. I'm never going to do it in like hockey. I'm never going to do it in basketball. But to kick an extra point, that's one of those moments in the sport where you get like frozen time to do a thing.
Yeah.
And then I have a chance.
Yeah, that sounds doable. I think soccer would be the toughest just because everyone would be so good. You have very little time with the ball and then you just get tackled.
Even if you get a shot away, the goalies are pretty good too.
Yeah.
Do you think in soccer, if the team let you be like the penalty shot taker, and they managed to draw a penalty shot, do you think you could score one against a professional goalie?
Oh, heavens no.
I feel like there would be like a 25% chance I could.
I think so too. I think I could do,
Yeah.
like, as long as you kick it hard, the goalie still has to guess right. He has more time to react against you, but, you know, you can fluke count.
Yeah, you could get it up high in a corner.
Exactly. Like,
You're going to get it eventually.
Yeah, if you gave like 10 shots at it, you're going to score a couple of those. So it just has to be the right one. The problem is, how often are there penalty shots in a soccer game?
All the time, apparently.
Oh, well then.
That's easy.
Okay, how about this? Baseball. Boom, you take a pitch, just get on the base, and hope all subsequent teammates also take a pitch, and you can just walk it in.
That
Or
sounds doable.
if you did baseball and you were the pinch runner, so that's when someone gets a hit and gets on base and it's like a pitcher or something, so they're slow. So they substitute them off of base and put you on base,
There you go.
and then the next batter hits a home run.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the way to do it.
And then you're like every other baseball player, you've done basically nothing.
So do you have, in order to get on the base though, I guess you need to have hit the ball a little bit?
Not if you were the pinch runner. Then you
Oh.
just get put onto base. Because the other option is, as Stefan says, either get hit with the ball or get walked. But if somebody else is already on base and you're the pinch runner,
I like your idea better.
then you literally don't have to do anything.
Yeah,
you
you
could
don't have to
literally score a point in baseball, a run, by standing on a base and having somebody else do a thing for you.
I just
And
be
then you have to
walking
walk.
down the base, doing a crossword, like, all right,
Hey, I did it. I won the World Series, guys. Big Queen wave going on.
Queen.
The wave of the Queen, not the band Queen. I don't think they were famous for their waves,
Doing the wave.
except for their sound waves.
I don't know, Brian May's got some wavy hair.
That's true.
Great point.
We were at work yesterday, and a guy came in, and he was the spitting image of Brian May. He looked exactly like him to the point where at the front counter of my office, I pulled out a picture of Brian May and looked at his face and looked at the picture, and then I showed it to my coworker, and she was like, yeah, that's Brian May right there.
That's unfortunate.
Did he have a mullet?
No, he had the big curly hair like Brian May did, and he was driving a van that he'd imported from Australia, which seemed like something Brian May would do, but he didn't have an accent, so I think he just did a lot of speech training.
You can only get away with that if you are in the band Queen, so...
He was also
Unfortunate for that
20
lad.
years younger than Brian May currently is.
Well, if Queen can time travel, like, they must have a song about that somewhere.
Is that what so special about the bicycle?
So for this next one, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to come up with a movie by suggesting an idea one at a time and then putting them all together until we have the next summer blockbuster. So, let's just start it off. Stefan, tell me one thing in this movie, be it an actor, a scene, a character, something.
It's about paintballing.
With Steve Carell.
On a beautiful beach.
There's love interest.
I'm going to say Halle Berry.
And maybe some sea turtles that are endangered.
And Steve Carell's a marine biologist.
And bad guys want to develop a resort on the beautiful beach.
So he's made a challenge that if he wins the paintball tournament, then they have to make the resort a sanctuary for sea turtles.
I'm sold.
How does Halle Berry factor into this, though? Like, what's her character and what's her role?
She's like the, not the assistant, but kind of the spokesperson for the evil people. Oh. But then she ends up siding with Steve Carell.
So he
in the
slowly
end.
wins her over, and then in the end, when, like, the big bad guy's like, Halle, you haven't done your job properly, you get back to work, and she goes, I'm not coming back.
And then shoots him.
With a
Chainsaw.
paintball.
Oh, with a paintball gun, like, right
Yeah.
between the eyes?
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be good if the evil bad guy had glasses, so she shot him right on the glasses in both eyes, so he was now blinded by paint.
I'm picturing like the bad guy doing a monologue, you know, as he's got Steve Carell who's somehow lost his gun or whatever, right? And he's saying how he's going to murder all the turtles, and then Halle Berry gets him.
Can the bad guy be Christopher Walken? Because I'd love to see Christopher Walken deliver a monologue about killing sea turtles. It's like, you may have saved the beach, but I'm going to kill the turtles anyway.
Wait, he's doing this not for profit, but to kill
Just
turtles?
to kill turtles.
Yeah, because a turtle, like, killed his wife.
In a tragic
Oh.
surfing accident.
And then, like, the movie could be called, like, A Turtle to Kelp For.
I hate it.
Or something else.
Yeah,
Titles
or something.
Not set yet.
Yeah.
Working title.
So wait, where did we say this was set? Did we say Hawaii?
Just a
Just a
beautiful
tropical
beach.
beach.
So really, yeah. Manitoba, I've heard, has some really nice beaches.
Lake Superior.
Yes, Manitoba is known
Lake
for its
Winnipeg,
beaches.
yeah.
I don't think anyone would think of Manitoba as tropical.
Oh wait, and the sea turtles.
CGI.
There is no part during that pitch in which I thought of a landlocked province for the location of this movie.
There's 2 large lakes in Manitoba.
I think it could be good for their tourism.
It would keep prices down for shooting.
But we
Yes.
specifically said sea turtles.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Somewhere in the paintball tournament, Steve Carell definitely has to have, like, a sidekick who gets shot in, like, an epic fashion saving Steve Carell.
Like comic relief style?
Well, yeah, exactly. He gets shot, and it's like, oh, and he does this big, like, dying monologue with Steve Carell, like, holding him, and then he's, like, gives a big monologue, and it's this big deal, and then, like, stops, and the dude just, like, stands up and walks away, because he's clearly totally fine. He just got shot with a paintball.
So is this a comedy movie?
I was taking it serious.
I thought it was a drama.
Oh, I was viewing, like, an Ace Ventura sort of situation here, which is, like, kind of serious because it's about animal conservation, but then there's a wacky guy leading it.
He can be a bit offbeat, the guy in this movie.
Yeah, he could be just, like, a little bit offbeat. I mean, he's
still
got
serious.
He is in a paintball competition as a marine biologist. Oh, but he clearly, when he went there, wasn't a paintballing kind of guy. So there has to be a training montage in which a local teaches him the ways of playing paintball.
Yeah, beach paintball.
Exactly.
This is sounding pretty close to a plot of Future Sport.
Well, I mean, Future Sport is a movie in which they play a futuristic version of kind of hockey on hoverboards, and it settles a war between the U.S. and Japan for who gets the state of Hawaii.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty similar.
Not quite as high stakes as the Sea Turtles, but...
Dean Cain should be his sidekick.
I can't picture anything else Dean Cain has ever done or who he is.
He was the host of Ripley's Believe It or Not.
I don't believe it.
Believe it?
I have no idea who he is.
He also played Superman.
But what if Dolph Lundgren was the assistant?
Dolph Lundgren.
He'd look great in a Speedo playing paintball.
Are you implying that Dean Cain would not?
I don't know who
Dare
Dean...
you?
I don't know who he is.
I don't know who Dean Cain is yet.
He's the star of Future Sport.
No, the star of Future Sport is...
The sport itself.
No, the guy. The star of Future Sport is Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes.
Couldn't it be played now? Because there are those boards that you can kind of roll around on, and then you could hold a hockey stick and you could do things
Well,
like
it was
that.
kind of more than that, in which the ball, if you held onto it for more than 3 seconds, would turn into lightning and electrocute you. And then there was also people with spears.
Oh.
Future Sport's a bit of a strange movie.
So maybe not right now.
I would recommend
We'll
it.
wait a few years.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Almost there.
We're almost in the future with sport.
Tomorrow.
The world of tomorrow.
Are there
today.
any famous marine biologists that could do a cameo?
In my head, I went straight to George from Seinfeld, and then I'm like, yeah, Jason Alexander was not actually a marine biologist or an architect.
No.
But he played those roles so well.
Yeah, he's
Importer,
memorable.
He was
Exporter.
playing a guy who was pretending to be a marine biologist. He wasn't even playing a marine biologist.
That's close enough. You don't need a marine biology degree to do marine biology.
Just poke things in the water with a stick.
Exactly.
You
Like all
don't need a
science.
degree to feel up animals.
But if Dolph Lundgren was in it, then you could make some stupid joke at some point about dolphins.
Ooh. And he could say it because his name wouldn't be Dolph in the...
Yeah, when they were doing their...
Oh.
They'd be doing their paintball thing, and, like, Steve Carell would be out on some buoy with, like, a paintball gun standing on one leg, and then Dolph Lundgren would be like, watch out, Dolph, in the water!
You could not pay him enough to do that. He has way too much self-respect.
I think he could be had.
He could be convinced.
Especially when he sees the script.
Okay, this one's really easy. Combine 2 instruments into one.
How can I not say keytar?
Well, but keytars already exist. If you had a keytar, you could combine that with, like, a trumpet. So you're playing the keytar, but you're also, like, blowing into it, and it's, like, making trumpet noises.
And then take that instrument and combine it with the flute.
They kind of already have, like, a keyboard trumpet thing.
That's a thing?
What?
Yeah, you,
That's
like,
true.
blow into it. It's got, like, 6 or 7 keys on it. When I saw Trombone Shorty, he played a weird thing like that.
What's a trombone shorty?
It's a band, but it's mostly just a trombone player from New Orleans, kind of jazz fusion stuff.
All the good music comes from New Orleans.
Yeah.
Well, I like a bagpipe worked in there somehow, but I'm not sure what to combine it with.
Well, keyboard version bagpipe.
Yes, just to make it easier, so you get all that
You're
bagpipe
describing
sound.
an accordion.
Oh, accordions are good.
Which is what you
I like accordions.
you play accordion.
Oh.
So what I'm learning is it's really hard to invent new music instruments because they all already exist.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some weird ones, like the wavy saw.
You mean like just a saw that you
Waves.
like wave? That's not really a music instrument.
Anything can
Everything's
be.
an instrument.
It's more of a farm tool.
Or the glasses, yeah, that you...
So now we're describing non-instruments that make sound like instruments.
Okay.
Some sort of drum that when you hit it, it actually comes out as like a guitar sound.
Oh, guitar drums.
Guitar drums.
Guitar drums. All right.
I don't see the purpose really, but I don't think those exist yet, unless you include like a MIDI pad. and then can make any sound.
That's cheating. This is one.
Yeah.
It's all got to be acoustic. Whatever it is, you just got to play it, and it sounds that way.
Okay, so you hit the drum, and it somehow plucks a string.
You could do like a maraca guitar, so it's like an acoustic guitar but filled with sandy beads, and so then you could shake it as you played.
Ooh,
And it would be like ding ding ding.
So you can provide like your own background beat to the song you're playing
Yeah,
at the
just
time.
by shaking your arms as you play.
I want to say that the original piano is more or less, again, what you're describing. If you look inside it.
It's all been done.
Yep, you just hit strings.
So just open up a grand piano and
Percussively.
hit it with some drumsticks,
Oh.
and then we're good.
Sure.
Is all music just strings vibrating?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
much.
much strings.
Even woodwinds.
Sound waves.
Crack open a didgeridoo, strings.
Oh, those are cool.
Ooh, what if you combined a didgeridoo and a vuvuzela, and then you'd have the world's most annoying instrument?
No.
So it would
I forgot all
buzz.
those
It'd just be
damn
like,
things.
Yeah.
That is the most annoying sound in the world from the movie Dumb and Dumber.
we've done it. A didgeridoo and a vuvuzela.
What do you call it?
A didgerizoo? No.
Voodoo?
A vuvoodoo.
Voodoo.
Definitely. Or just a voodoo.
Voodoo.
Yeah.
Who do that voodoo? You do. You are now a pirate that owns a pirate ship. But instead of a plank to walk, you need to come up with an alternate option to condemn your enemies to the sea. What do you replace the plank with?
Trampoline.
Trampoline, you just like throw them and they just bounce straight into the ocean.
Yeah.
But that'd be kind of fun. Well, maybe it would be good if it was fun. Maybe they'd
Yeah.
be more likely to.
Send them out with a smile.
Oh, and you'd have like two big guys on the edge of the trampoline to double bounce them so they go extra far into the ocean.
My thought is you bring the prisoner, I guess, or whoever's being forced to walk the plank or bounce the lean.
Bounce the lead.
You take them up to the crow's nest and you throw them down onto the trampoline where there's two people waiting to double bounce them, and away he goes.
You'd go so far in that scenario.
I think that would be nice if they went far away, because I think you'd feel bad if they're right next to your boat and saying, please, get me back on the boat.
Even if people are like, I don't know, that mutiny might have been a good idea. As soon as they see that, they're like, oh, that was great. And they'd completely forget about it because they'd have so much fun.
Yeah, and then maybe like in between getting rid of baddies, you could just bounce on there just as a little stress reliever.
That would be a lot of fun, actually. Bounce off the trampoline and wall yourself.
Or do they
You would have a ladder, though, to get
Yes.
back up in the boat.
Do they have boats with trampolines on them? I guess yachts do, but like to jump into the water?
I don't. Yeah, I mean that's not their purpose. But there are boats where it's. I think it's even called the trampoline, like with catamarans. They have that like fabric in between the hulls that's kind of soft and.
For liability reasons, this would be something you would have to do yourself. No company will ever do this for you.
That's fair.
I don't think pirates are concerned with liability.
That's true.
What if you just had like a giant trebuchet? Just launch them. And it would be like a cartoon movie where they'd be like, I didn't do it! And then they'd go into the horizon as a dot and just like blink as a star and then disappear.
Like in Smash Bros.
Yeah, exactly. Like in
Yeah.
Smash Bros. You just trebuchet them off your pirate ship. I mean, there's a lot of ways to just fire them off. I guess you could load them into a cannon.
Cannon. I was
Yeah.
about to bring that up. You already got it lying around.
Yeah, that's true. But that's kind of boring. Like to me, I think you
That's
want...
You kidding me? Shooting someone out of a cannon is boring to you?
It's all in a day's work.
I've been like, it's a pirate movie. Or not movie, it's real life, I guess. Oh,
It's just
man.
reality.
That's just got real. Stole that from you.
Yeah, I was totally saying the same thing.
Then who are the pirates shooting over the edge?
Just people that have wronged them, you know, either mutineers or like hostages that can't do anything good for them anymore.
Oh,
I feel like there's some more creative solutions out there.
Dunk tank?
Ooh, a dunk tank, and all the pirates like throw balls at it, and when they hit the thing, the person just falls into the ocean. Oh,
that would be
fun.
good for crew morale.
Yeah.
That'd be like a carnival game. And then the pirate that knocked him off would like get a prize. I don't know what that prize would be. It'd probably be a stuffed parrot.
Fresh eye patch.
Extra ration.
An extra ration.
A sea biscuit.
And I don't know if I'm,
Ebony wooden leg.
Ooh.
I don't know if I'm the only one, but when you hear the term ration, do you just assume the food tastes bad?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, ration is probably the least appealing way to name food. What I think I'm going to do tonight is when my wife, because she's making us spaghetti for dinner, I think I'm going to say, what's the rations for dinner tonight? And see how she reacts. Because I don't think it's going to be positive. I'll report back next week.
Well, I mean, the implication of a ration is that you're trying to eat it for a really long period of time, so eventually it's just going to be old food.
It's true. It's like, ration is like survival food, not like good quality eating entertainment food.
Except they had rum rations, which would last.
Oh, you could go all like the Hobbit with him and just like throw the guy into a rum barrel and just roll him off into the ocean.
And then maybe he has a chance.
Yeah, he has a chance. It's
That's
like,
nice.
hey, we leave it up to the sea.
Yeah, I like that one.
Throw a GoPro on him and you're good to go.
Yeah, see what happens.
That's sick chase.
Crew
scene.
can watch at night, see what adventures he's on.
But he's got a good chance. He's not even going to have orcs chasing him, so I think he's definitely going to make it. Orcas.
Oh,
Oh,
And that was my whale joke.
real joke of the week.
The whale joke of the week.
you already made a dolphin joke. You also
Oh,
get a
right.
whale joke? Spare us.
Now for our last question of the week. You can eliminate the need for one personal hygiene / grooming task. What do you get rid of?
Oh, showering. It takes so long.
Showering is the best. All of my best
Get rid of
ideas
it.
come up in the shower.
Showering doesn't take that long.
Oh, I just feel like it's an effort and you gotta dry off. Cats don't shower.
Yeah, they lick themselves.
That's time consuming
They're
too.
smart.
Do you have to do that instead?
No, I'm
No.
I'm not going to say you have to do anything instead. It's just gone. You no
You just
longer
stay
need...
clean though, right?
I guess so. No, you just that grooming thing just isn't a thing that happens anymore.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
'cause that might be
Just
bad.
no one showers.
I guess so. Well, I mean, maybe they bathe. Who knows? Maybe they come up with a different thing to replace it with.
So wait, if you cut out showers, you're just relegated to baths.
That's not as good, actually.
That's worse.
Yeah, that's not as good.
Okay, that makes it tough. Okay, let's just say you don't need to do the thing. You have to like walk into the bathroom for like 3 seconds and then you're showered. So you can't just always be clean because that'd be way too good.
Okay. I would probably choose showers as well. I take extremely long showers.
But
No matter how short of a shower I'm trying to take, it ends up being extremely long.
Yeah.
showers are so nice.
Well, I agree. It's where I do my best thinking, and I get sucked into those thoughts. They sweep me away.
I would 100% get rid of brushing my teeth. I've always hated brushing my teeth, but I had the stupidest toothbrushing incident of my life happen this morning, in which, so here's what's going on. I'm going to go on with my day. I'm smiling, the sun's out, the birds are chirping. Lovely day. I've just gotten up thinking, you know what? I could use a bit of a freshened up mouth. So I go in the bathroom to brush my teeth. Sure enough, my wife has bought brand new toothpaste, and it foams a lot, which is kind of weird, but that's okay. I don't mind a foaming toothpaste. So I'm brushing my teeth, smiling away, and I just get right to the end, and I somehow managed to hook the toothbrush on my gums. It flipped out of my mouth, shot toothpaste up my nose, and into my eye. So now I'm in a bad scenario where I can't see because there's toothpaste in my eye, my nose is burning, and I was like, which made me swallow toothpaste. So now my nose and throat are burning, not being able to see. So I'm really annoyed. So I'd like get a bunch of water splashed on my face. I then go to grab a towel, and of course my lovely wife, who once again factors into the story, has done the laundry today. And when she does the laundry, she loves to take all the towels off the racks and not replace them. So since I can't see, I reach for a towel, jam my finger, which I think might already be broken, directly into the wall. So now I have a hurt finger, I can't see, my mouth is burning, my nose is burning, and that was brushing my teeth this morning. So I would 100% get rid of brushing your teeth.
Wow.
You
A tale
are-
of suffering.
Extremely uncoordinated today.
It was the worst toothbrushing I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, that stuff does burn your eyes. I've had that before where you just get a tiny speck in your eye and it burns.
Yeah, and if you try to wash it out, it just spreads it around your
Yeah.
eyes, and it is awful.
How is this happening to you people?
Yeah, I've
You
never had
toothpaste in your eyes.
never
Just a
had
speck.
toothpaste in the
Yeah,
eye.
this isn't the first time I've gotten toothpaste in my eye, but it's the first time I've gotten this much
Yeah,
toothpaste
that
in my
sounds
eye.
bad.
Well, there was a trail of toothpaste from my lip going up my nostril. There was because it was this foaming toothpaste, so there was so much of it.
Yeah,
It's like pepper spray.
Yeah, and it was pepper. I mean, it was peppermint.
peppermint.
Peppermint spray.
Not spearmint?
It was not spearmint. It was peppermint.
In the vein of oral care, I would probably eliminate flossing because there's no chance I'm ever going to floss as it stands. So I might actually stand a chance
Get rid
of
of
having
some-
teeth by the
yeah.
time I'm 75, you know?
That's a good
If
point.
I
I mean,
eliminate flossing.
it seems funny to eliminate a thing I don't do anyways, but yeah, flossing would be a great one to
And
get
then you
rid
wouldn't
of.
feel guilty for not flossing.
There's nothing worse than the dentist pressuring you, like, hey, make sure you're flossing every day, and he knows you're not going to.
My dentist has just given up by this point.
Yeah, my dentist always, so you're flossing regularly, right? And it's just like,
Blood everywhere as they floss.
yeah, okay. Don't know what happened today, Doc. My gums don't normally bleed like this.
Yeah.
Alex, what would you get rid of?
I'm kind of thinking like cutting the nails.
Ooh, trimming the fingernails.
Because it's always kind of annoying doing the right hand with the left hand. And then when you get the toes involved, that's kind of a pain too.
And they're hard to reach.
And I have like a nail that doesn't grow longer, it just grows thicker, and then you have to get the fancy nail cutters that can fit over it. And
There's fancy
There
nail
are
cutters.
such a thing?
well, there's, you got the little ones that work for fingernails.
Yeah, the tourist ones that everyone has are like those little doll
Like,
ones.
like
Yeah.
keychain one or whatever, but I have to get like ones with like a solid like half-inch opening so I can.
Oh my gosh.
Interesting. Sounds like you don't cut your fingernails enough.
No, that's just my random toenails because they're like been jammed so many times they just no longer grow out.
Oh, I feel like
Not good.
the big toe especially.
Yeah.
Like whenever I cut my toenails, it's like I'm doing surgery down there. It's brutal. I hate it.
See, for me, I get where you're coming from because clipping your nails is annoying, but shaving is just way worse. That's just like a bigger version of clipping your toenails, except that they're hairs on your face.
I was
disagree.
wondering about that, except for that there's a point where you could want to grow a beard or something. So if you no longer have to shave, you'd have to decide on what your facial hair is and keep it, right?
Well, I mean, if it's like the shower situation where you walk into the bathroom and it's just sort of done, it would be the same thing where when you decided to shave, you just wouldn't have to worry about doing it. It would be done. Like, I would be way better kempt if I didn't have to shave, because I just don't shave until it's like a terrible mustache that I need to get rid of.
Yeah, I just basically don't shave that often. So.
Yeah, I hate shaving when I have to shave. It's one of those things I just put off for days, and I'm like, okay, I have an important meeting, I have to do it. But it's not daily. Whereas like brushing your teeth or flossing is a daily thing, and I feel like it'd be better to get rid of that like 3 minutes a day thing.
Or like 6.
That's true. Brushing
I'm
your teeth.
definitely going showering. I would cut it like half an hour from my day.
But that's the best half hour of your day.
Yeah, but you could just go in there anyways if you really wanted to.
Just stand there. But does
That's
the
a
water
great-
not help you think?
It does.
The white noise.
See, I think showers work because it's a sensory deprivation thing, but the opposite. It's a sensory overload where it's like there is a ton of noise, there's heat hitting your body, there's pressure on you, like there's so many things going on that it clears your head because there's just too much. It's the opposite of a
We
sensory
should record this
deprivation
podcast in a shower. We'd be popping off right now.
thing. That'd be a bit of a weird podcast. Oh, I could wear a shower cap. I've always wanted to wear a shower cap.
Ooh.
For what reason?
Because
Please
they-
explain.
Because whenever you see someone with a shower cap, you're like, you know what? That guy enjoys life. No one's ever frowning in a shower cap.
I don't know that I've ever seen someone in a shower cap.
Like,
in real life.
I'm picturing Kramer from Seinfeld. He wears a shower cap, and it's a great time. That's when he decides to spend his whole life in the shower.
I know, I was going to say.
Salad
Yeah.
in there. I don't know if he's a good role model in this scenario.
I never understood why people were against eating that that salad. I would eat a salad that someone made in the shower. What do I care?
Are you kidding me?
It's clean.
Was
They're-
it more of a bath?
No, it was a shower.
Straight up.
Although
shower.
making the salad did clog the drain, so then it started filling up.
Right. Okay.
But like, I don't. Like, it's clean. Like, he's clean at the point where he's in the shower and he's made the salad. I would eat that. I have no problem with that.
You don't have a problem with the water that's rolled right from the tip of his head down all across his sweaty body, flipping off his nip, landed right in a tomato.
His body
Eat
should
that
be
tomato.
sweaty.
Yeah, but his body's not like. If he stepped into the shower and the first water that hit him did that,
Is he doing it in a cold shower?
well, he's been in the shower for like 3 days at this point. Like, it's fine. It's just water.
I mean, I would probably eat it. It wouldn't be ideal. I wouldn't want to think about what I'm eating.
I'm gonna make you a salad.
Well, once again, thank you for listening to the On Pointless podcast. If you have any questions for us or answers to questions we've previously done, please feel free to submit them at onpointlesspodcast@gmail.com, and we'll take the good ones. Thanks.
See ya.
Bye-bye.